Hello and welcome back. You are listening to A Powerless Mage Presents.
We're so glad you're here.
I really am so glad you decided to plug in with us today. If you are new to this space, let me set the stage for you for a second.
Yeah, let's do it.
We aren't a lecture hall. We aren't a newsroom. We're definitely not here to tell you that you're doing everything wrong.
Not at all.
Think of this as a sanctuary. It's a place for the curious, the dissatisfied, and, anyone who feels like life keeps throwing hurdles at them. They're just running out of room to jump.
That is a great way to put it. We're here to look for solutions.
Right.
And not the 10 easy steps to become a billionaire kind of solutions, but the real stuff.
Yes, the stuff that actually matters.
We want to unpack the things that keep you staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m. and see if we can find a better, healthier way to look at them.
And speaking of things that keep us staring at the ceiling, today's topic is the big one.
Oh, it's huge.
It is the noise that is drowning out almost everything else in our lives right now. You open your phone, you turn on the TV, you go to dinner with friends, and what is the one thing everyone is talking about?
Artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence.
Fake.
It is just, it's unavoidable. It's in the water supply at this point.
It really is.
And what's interesting to me is that it's not just casual conversation anymore. It feels like a battleground.
It really does. It feels like you have to pick a jersey, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're either on Team Savior, where AI is going to cure cancer and fix the climate and write us all poetry, or
you're on Team Destroyer.
Yeah, Team Destroyer, where the robots are coming for your job, your bank account, and eventually your soul.
That is the narrative landscape we are living in. And I think it's really important to pause and acknowledge the anxiety that comes with that.
It's so much anxiety.
This isn't just about whether the new iPhone has a cool feature. People are asking genuinely existential questions.
Big ones. Will bots destroy the economy? Will science find a path to immortality? Or are we just building a high-tech prison for ourselves?
It's overwhelming, and honestly, it's exhausting.
It is.
I feel like I'm constantly waiting for the other shoe to drop, which is why I'm so excited about the source material we are diving into today.
Me too. This one really shifted my perspective.
We are looking at a reflective essay titled The True Problem of AI, The Supreme Fear.
And we should clarify right off the bat, this is not a technical manual.
No.
We aren't going to be discussing parameters or large language model architecture. This isn't a white paper from a tech giant or a statistical report from an economist.
Thank goodness for that. My brain can't handle any more of that.
Right.
It's a reflective essay. Its purpose isn't to give you data. It's to make you think. It's designed to challenge how we feel.
And that's where the real work is. The essay actually references some heavy hitters.
Yeah.
It touches on themes you might find in books like Yuval Noah Harari's Nexus or Mark Manson's Everything is Frack.
Both amazing books, by the way.
Absolutely. But the author argues that while those books are brilliant, when we talk about AI generally, we are missing the human focus.
That's the key, that phrase right there, the human focus.
Yeah.
We get so caught up in the technical specs, the neural networks, the processing power, we forget about the person staring at the screen.
We forget about us.
So our mission for this deep dive is pretty specific. We aren't going to talk about which chatbot is the smartest. We are going to try to figure out why we are so afraid.
We want to persuade you, the listener, that the problem isn't the machine.
No.
The machine is just metal and code. It's a tool. The problem is an ancient internal fear that has been with us long before the first computer was even a sketch on a napkin.
Our objective is to help you stop feeling like a victim of technology.
Yes.
We want to get to the emotional root of this crisis so you can actually do something about it. We want you to feel empowered, not overpowered.
Okay, let's get into it.
Okay, so let's start with some context, because it's easy to feel like this moment in history is uniquely terrible.
Oh, completely.
Like, oh, poor us, we have to deal with Skynet.
The end of the world is always now.
But the essay makes a really good point right at the start. Technology has always changed how we live. This isn't new.
It's the story of humanity, really.
Yeah.
If you go back to the invention of the cotton gin, for example,
Right.
before that machine, separating cotton seeds from the fiber was incredibly labor-intensive. It was slow, back-breaking work.
Just brutal.
Then this machine comes along, and suddenly that labor becomes efficient. Or you can look at the textile industry with the invention of mechanical looms.
Right, and we look back at those moments now as progress. We read about them in history books and we nod our heads.
We do.
But at the time, I mean, that was terrifying for the people involved.
It was devastating for many. It transformed the industry, sure, but it also meant that people lost their livelihoods.
Of course.
Traditional weavers who had spent decades, their whole lives, mastering a craft were suddenly displaced by a machine that could do it faster and cheaper.
But here's the nuance the essay points out, and this is so crucial.
It really is.
In those historical shifts, while they were painful, they were generally viewed as a change of habits.
A change of habits. Can you unpack that?
Yeah, a change in workflow. So you used to weave by hand. Now you manage a machine that weaves. You used to separate seeds with your fingers. Now you turn a crank. It was a shift in how we did things. The fundamental what didn't feel like it changed.
But the author argues that AI is different. This isn't just a better loom.
No, not even close.
The argument here is that AI confronts us with something much deeper than just a shift in how we work.
So much deeper.
It brings us face to face with what the author calls the supreme fear.
The supreme fear? That sounds intense.
It does.
Like a boss fight in a video game.
It is intended to be heavy. Because this isn't about whether you have to learn a new piece of software to keep your job.
No.
It's about the emotional collapse happening inside the average person.
That's a powerful phrase, emotional collapse.
We are debating corruption, we are debating economics, we are worrying about deep fakes, but we are ignoring the internal crisis.
It's so polarizing. You are forced to be pro-AI or anti-AI, but that binary choice, it masks what's really happening, doesn't it?
It does. It's a distraction.
It masks the insecurity. It masks the feeling that maybe we are losing control.
Precisely. If we strip away the headlines about the stock market or the capabilities of the latest model, what is left?
A person.
A human being who is scared. A human being who feels small.
So before we go any deeper into what that fear actually is, I want to take a second to connect this to you, the listener.
Good idea.
I want you to really think about this. When you feel that knot in your stomach about AI, when you see a headline about a bot passing the bar exam or writing a symphony, what is that feeling really about?
That's the core question, isn't it? Is your anxiety really about the robot?
Yeah.
Is it really about the software? Or is it about what the robot implies about your own value?
Yeah. Is it the tool you fear or the mirror it holds up to you?
Oh.
It's uncomfortable to ask, but we have to go there if we want to solve this.
We have to. So let's dig into the fear itself. Section 2 of the essay takes us into the genealogy of fear.
I love this concept. It's like a family tree, but for nightmares.
It's a very useful framework. The essay breaks down fear as a mechanism. We tend to think of fear as a bad thing, a defect, something we need to crush.
Right, something to get rid of.
But it's a constant in the human experience. It ranges from that mild worry you forgot to turn the oven off, all the way to absolute terror.
And the essay lists the classics, the greatest hits of fear.
The OG fears.
The primitive ones, fear of darkness, the unknown, spiders, snakes, heights, pain, and of course death.
Those are the biological hardwiring. You see a snake, you jump. That's not a decision you make. That's your animal brain keeping you alive.
Just pure instinct.
But as humans evolved, as we developed societies and complex cognition, our fears leveled up, so to speak.
They became more sophisticated.
Yes, we got fancy with our anxiety.
We started inventing feels that don't have teeth or claws.
We did. We developed fear of commitment, fear of success.
Oh, that's a big one.
Fear of freedom, fear of ridicule, fear of being wrong. The essay even mentions the fear of happiness.
Which sounds crazy at first, right? Fear and happiness.
It does.
But I think we have all felt that feeling that if things are too good, something bad is about to happen. It's like we're waiting for the other shoe to drop.
It's a protective mechanism. It's the voice that says, if I don't get too happy, the crash won't hurt as much.
Exactly.
But here is where the essay gives us a massive aha moment. It argues that you can take all these fears, the primitive ones about snakes and the complex ones about your career or your relationship,
All of them.
and boil them all down to 3 basic categories.
The 3 basic fears.
Number 1, fear of failure. Number 2, fear of rejection. And number 3, fear of death.
Okay, let's unpack these.
Yeah.
Because at first glance, they seem distinct. But the essay does this really cool mapping exercise.
It does.
It connects the surface fears to these root causes.
Let's look at the primitive ones first. Fear of heights, fear of snakes, fear of the dark. Why do we have those?
Well, obviously, because they can kill you.
Right.
Gravity is undefeated, snakes have venom, the dark hides predators.
Exactly. Those map directly to the fear of death. That's the easy one.
Okay, that makes sense.
But now let's look at the complex ones. What about the fear of commitment? Or the fear of poverty? or even the fear of freedom.
Those feel different. Fear of commitment feels like, I don't know, avoiding a trap.
The essay argues those are rooted in the fear of failure.
Failure. How so?
If you commit to a person, you might fail at the relationship. It might end.
I see.
If you were free, you were responsible for your actions, and you might fail to make the right choice.
The pressure's on you.
And poverty is viewed by society, often unfairly, as a failure to provide, a failure to succeed in the economic game.
That makes a lot of sense. It's about not measuring up, not being able to do the thing you set out to do. What about loneliness?
That maps to the fear of rejection. We are social animals. For most of human history, to be alone meant death.
Literally.
If the tribe kicked you out, you didn't survive the winter. So we have a deep, primal fear of being cast out, of being unwanted.
And then there are the tricky ones, like the fear of ridicule, or the fear of simply being wrong.
Oh, I know that one well.
I hate being wrong. It makes my skin crawl.
Those are hybrids. If you are ridiculed, you are being rejected by the group. They're laughing at you, pushing you away.
Okay, that's rejection.
But it also implies a failure of social performance. You did something wrong. So it hits both rejection and failure buttons at the same time.
It's like mixing primary colors to get new shades of anxiety.
That is a perfect analogy. The essay actually refuses to call these primary fears, though. It calls them basic fears.
Why is that?
Because it argues there is something even deeper underneath them.
Yeah.
But before we get there, we need to really sit with these three.
Failure, rejection, death. It really does cover almost everything, doesn't it? Every time I get stressed, if I dig deep enough, I find one of those three monsters waiting for me.
It simplifies the chaos of our emotions. Instead of fighting 1,000 little demons, you realize you are just fighting 3 big ones.
So I want to ask you, the listener, to do a little self-audit right now.
This is a good exercise.
Think about the one thing stressing you out the most today. Maybe it's a deadline at work. Maybe it's a date you have tonight. Maybe it's a weird symptom you Googled at 2 a.m.
Don't do that, by the way.
Never do that. But can you trace it back to one of the big 3? Are you afraid of failing? Are you afraid of being rejected? Or are you afraid of the end of something?
Identifying the root is the first step to understanding the tree. Once you name the fear, it loses a little bit of its power over you.
Okay, so we have the big 3. Failure, rejection, death. But you mentioned something even bigger. The essay argues that even these 3 are just symptoms.
Yes. This is the core concept of the entire piece, the root of all roots, the master fear.
Fear of insignificance.
Now, we need to be very careful with definitions here.
Right, yeah.
Because when we hear the word insignificant, we usually think small. We think unimportant, like, I'm just one person in a big world, I don't matter.
Right, like looking at the stars and feeling like a speck of dust.
But the essay says that's not quite it. It defines insignificance as the negation of reality.
The negation of reality. Okay,
Yeah.
that's a big phrase.
It gets a bit philosophical, so stick with us here. It's about the feeling of ceasing to be real.
Ceasing to be real.
It explores the relationship between sign, what we perceive, and meaning, our connection to it.
The essay uses this incredible analogy to explain it. The analogy of the boat and the sea.
This is a game changer.
I found this so helpful, but I had to read it twice to really get it.
Let's break it down. Imagine a vast, endless ocean.
Okay.
That is the sea of existence.
And on that sea, there is a small boat. That is the boat of reality.
The essay distinguishes between things that exist and things that are real. This sounds like wordplay, but it's crucial.
Okay, give us an example. Because exist and real sound like the same thing to me.
Let's use the example from the source. It's mundane, but perfect.
I like mundane.
Let's say you walk into work, and a coworker you know passes you in the hallway and doesn't say hello.
Whew, the silent treatment, I hate that.
That event, the silence, actually happened. You saw him walk by, you heard or didn't hear the greeting.
It's a fact.
That is a fact. That is inside the boat of reality. It is solid. It is undeniable.
Okay, fact, coworker did not speak. That's in the boat.
But then, what happens in your mind?
Immediately.
Oh, the spiral starts. He hates me. He's jealous of my promotion. He's angry about what I said yesterday.
Everyone in the office is talking about me.
I'm going to get fired.
Exactly. Those ideas exist in your mind. They're floating around in your head. They have weight. They have emotional power.
They feel very real.
They feel real. But are they real? Can you touch them? Can you prove them right now?
No. I mean, maybe he just didn't see me.
Right. Maybe he left his contacts at home. Maybe his cat died this morning and he's in a fog.
Precisely. Those interpretations, He hates me, I'm doomed. Or the C. They're the unproven ideas surrounding the fact.
So the C is the story I tell myself about the fact.
Yes, and the crisis of insignificance happens when we fall out of the boat. We lose our connection to what is real, the fact that he didn't speak, and we start drowning in the sea of interpretations.
Wow. So insignificance isn't about being small. It's about drifting away from reality into a nightmare of our own invention.
It's about losing our anchor.
It's about losing our grip on what is actually happening versus what we fear is happening.
Yes, and the expert in the essay synthesizes it beautifully by connecting it back to the three basic fears.
Okay, how does that work?
Think about it. Death is a life-leaving reality.
Okay.
Rejection is a bond, a connection, leaving reality.
Right.
And failure is an act, an intention never becoming reality.
That is profound. We are terrified of things not being real.
We are terrified of losing our place in reality.
We cling to the boat because the sea is chaos.
We live surrounded by a sea of existing things, our worries, our narratives, our assumptions. But we only have a very small boat of things we can actually confirm.
And the fear of insignificance is the terror of slipping into that water, of losing your grip on what is true.
Of becoming just another story.
It's the fear of being lost in the noise, which ironically is exactly what the internet feels like sometimes.
Yes.
A giant ocean of noise where nothing feels real anymore.
It is a perfect metaphor for the modern condition. We are constantly bombarded with information, with opinions, with content, but very little of it is anchored in our immediate reality. We are drowning in the sea.
So here is a question for you listening right now, and I want you to be honest with yourself.
It's important.
How much of your suffering today comes from actual facts, the boat? And how much comes from the stories you have invented around them, the sea?
Are you reacting to what actually happened or to what you imagine it means?
Because if you can distinguish the two, you can get back in the boat.
You can pull yourself out of the water.
Okay, so we have established the supreme fear, insignificance, drowning in the sea of non-reality.
Right.
Now let's bring the robot back into the room, because this is where it all connects.
Section 4. The triple threat of AI.
Why is AI so terrifying? Why is everyone freaking out? The essay argues it's because AI stomps on all three of those basic fears simultaneously.
It doesn't just push one button.
It smashes the whole control panel.
It is a perfect storm. Let's look at them one by one. First, the crisis of rejection.
This one hits hard socially. The argument is if people, or society in general, start preferring AI interactions to human interactions, we feel rejected.
Imagine a world where your friends prefer chatting with a perfect, tailored AI companion rather than dealing with your messy human problem.
That is a nightmare scenario.
Or where customer service is all bots because they are nicer and more efficient and they never have a bad day.
It sends a signal, doesn't
A
it?
very clear one. Humans are not the preferred company anymore. We are being replaced socially.
That is terrifying. It's the ultimate, you can't sit with us. But it's spoken by the whole species. It triggers that deep, primal fear of being cast out of the tribe. If the tribe is now digital and I'm biological, am I out?
Exactly. Okay, number 2, the crisis of failure.
This is the economic one, usually, the one everyone talks about.
Right, the jobs.
If an AI can do my job better than my absolute best effort, I am confronted with failure.
And it's not just, I need to find a new job. It
Sure.
cuts deeper than that.
Much deeper.
It's, my best isn't good enough anymore.
Right. If I spent 20 years learning to paint or code or write, and a machine does it in 3 seconds, was my
Right.
effort a waste?
That's the voice of failure.
Yeah.
It invalidates your competence. My output is no longer needed. My contribution didn't become real because the machine did it first. It steals your agency.
Brutal.
Right.
And finally, number 3, the big one, the crisis of death.
This isn't just about killer robots, though that is a sci-fi trope we all know.
Right. It's not the Terminator.
It's deeper. AI has no physical or mental limitations like we do.
Yeah.
It doesn't get tired. It doesn't age. It doesn't die.
It confronts us with our own mortality.
It forces us to face the reality that biological life might not be the pinnacle of evolution.
Oh, that's a tough thought.
It confronts us with the potential death of human importance. If we aren't the smartest things on the planet anymore, what are we?
Are we obsolete?
Are we just the bootloader for the digital superintelligence?
So AI hits us with, you aren't wanted, rejection, you aren't useful, failure, and you are temporary, death.
All at once?
No wonder we are anxious. It's like a targeted attack on our psychological foundation.
And the essay notes that how you personally react to AI likely depends on which of these three fears is your personal weak point.
Oh, that's interesting. So it's like a Rorschach test for your trauma.
In a way, yes. If you are a person who deeply fears rejection, who needs validation from others,
You're worried about the social side.
you're probably most worried about the social isolation of AI. You worry about people disconnecting from each other.
And if you define yourself by your work, by your utility,
You're terrified of the failure aspect.
you're the one checking ChatGPT every day to see if it can do your job yet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you are existentially anxious, if you fear the void, the idea of a superior immortal intelligence probably triggers your fear of death.
So here is the reflexive question. When you see a news headline about AI doing something amazing, maybe it won an art prize or passed the bar exam,
Which pang hits you first?
do you think I'm useless? Failure. Do you think I'm unwanted?
Mm-hmm.
Rejection? Or do you think I'm obsolete? Death.
Identify the pang, and you identify the fear you need to work on. It's not about the robot. It's about what the robot reveals about your own insecurity.
We've talked about the fears. Now let's talk about the cost.
Right.
Because we can't just stop progress, right? We can't put the genie back in the bottle, or can we? Section 5 brings in a really powerful anecdote from the source about the mining industry.
Mm-hmm.
And this story, man, it really grounded things for me.
This is the mining analogy. And it's crucial because it takes these abstract ethical debates and drags them down into the dirt and reality of the physical world.
So the author shares a personal experience of taking safety courses for a mining project.
Right. And the context is key.
Yeah.
Mining is not a cushy job.
Not at all.
It is dangerous. It is dark. It is confined. It is toxic. People are working in extreme conditions, often nearly a mile underground, in contact with poisonous substances, breathing dust.
It's also monotonous work.
And monotony leads to errors. And in mining, errors kill people.
Literally, humans die doing this. It destroys bodies.
So enters the AI solution. Using AI, automation, and remote-controlled drones for mining makes perfect logical sense.
Logically, it's a no-brainer.
You take the human out of the hole,
Mm-hmm.
you use a machine to dig the coal or the ore, it saves lives. That is a fact. It reduces injury rates to near zero.
But here comes the conflict, the friction.
If you take the humans out of the mine, you also remove the livelihood of thousands of people who have dedicated their lives to this trade.
And their identity. That's the part we forget.
It is.
If you come from a family of miners, if your dad was a miner and his dad was a miner and suddenly there are no miners, who are you? What is your town? What is your community?
This creates an intense ethical dilemma. And the expert in the essay highlights that there is no correct answer here.
There's no easy way out.
We want there to be a happy ending where everyone is safe and rich and happy, but that's not the choice on the table.
The choice is option A. Preserve the jobs and the lifestyle, keep the community intact, but risk the lives and health of the workers.
Except that people will die in the dark.
Or option B. Save the lives, get everyone out of the hole, but destroy the incomes and identities of that community.
Leave them safe, but unemployed and purposeless.
And the key takeaway from the source is this chilling line. Whatever is decided, a cost must be paid.
There is no free solution.
That is a hard pill to swallow. We always want the win-win. We want technology to solve everything without breaking anything.
But progress often functions on trade-offs. You gain safety, you lose agency. You gain efficiency, you lose tradition. You gain speed, you lose depth.
And this applies to us, the listeners, right? It's not just about miners.
Not at all.
We are all miners in a way.
It is about everyone. We are all facing a version of this choice. We are choosing between holding on to our old identities, which might be risky or inefficient or stressful, but feel familiar and safe, or embracing the safety and efficiency of the new tools, which feels alienating.
We have to choose between the comfort of who we were and the uncertainty of who we could be.
And the cost is paid in our sense of self.
Here is the reflexive question, and it's a tough one. I want you to really visualize this.
Okay.
If you had to choose between a safe, easy life where you felt unnecessary, like the miner replaced by the drone, sitting at home safe but bored, or a hard, dangerous life where you felt essential, which would you honestly pick?
Do you value safety or do you value significance?
Do you want to be protected or do you want to be needed?
That is the question that defines how we face the future.
It really is. That brings us to our final section, facing the crisis.
Let's do it.
We've looked at the fear, we've looked at the cost. Now, what do? We can't just curl up in a ball and wait for the robots to take over.
The conclusion on insignificance, the host in the essay reiterates that our future decisions, collectively and individually, will be the result of how we handle this fear of insignificance.
Will we accept that humanity has reached its end? Will we say, okay, we had a good run, let the silicon take over?
Or will we maximize our capacity for growth?
And here is the twist. The essay points out a massive irony.
This part is so important.
AI is not the cause of the crisis.
Wait, say that again? Because we just spent 40 minutes talking about how AI triggers all these fears.
I know, it sounds contradictory.
AI is the trigger, but it's not the cause.
Explain that.
It merely detonated a reaction that has been building for centuries. We have been drifting away from reality, drifting into the sea of interpretation and anxiety for a long time.
A long time.
We have been becoming more isolated, more anxious, more disconnected from the physical world. AI just showed up and made the waves huge.
So the robot didn't break us, it just showed us where the cracks were.
Exactly.
Ah.
It accelerated a process that was already happening.
So what is the solution? The source is explicit about this. And I have to be honest, when I first read it, it sounded a little soft.
I know what you mean.
It sounded a little self-help. But when you dig into it, it's actually really powerful.
The solution is love.
Okay, stop rolling your eyes, listener. I know. All you need is love. But we aren't talking about holding hands and singing Kumbaya.
No. We must face this crisis not from fear, but from love. And let's clarify what that means.
Please do.
This isn't romantic love. This isn't even affection. This means loving the potential of what we can become, rather than fearing the loss of what we used to be.
Oh, I like that distinction. It's about focus.
It is.
Fear focuses on what is being taken away. I'm losing my job. I'm losing my status. Love focuses on what can be created. What can I build with this? Who can I become?
Correct. The persuasive argument here is, you cannot stop the wave.
You can't.
AI is here. The water is rising. You cannot command the tide to go back out. But you can choose not to drown in the sea of existence. You can anchor yourself in your reality.
You can stay in your boat. You can focus on the facts, on your actions, on your connections that are real.
Use the tools to expand your reality, not to escape it.
Don't use AI to hide from the world.
Use it to engage with the world in new ways.
It reminds me of the loom again. The weavers who survived were the ones who learned to use the machine to make better cloth, not the ones who tried to burn the factory down.
Exactly. They anchored themselves in the reality of the new world and found a way to be significant within it.
So the final reflexive question for the episode: are you making your plans for next year based on the fear of being replaced?
Are you playing defense?
Or are you making them based on the love of what you might create with these new tools? Are you playing offense?
Are you running away from the future or running toward your own potential?
Because the future is coming either way.
It is.
You might as well run toward it. That is the choice. And it's a choice we have to make every single day.
It really is.
Okay, let's wrap this up. We have covered a staggering amount of ground today. My brain is definitely full.
We certainly have. We explore the primitive roots of fear, from snakes to public speaking.
We mapped out the big three: failure, rejection, and death.
We dive deep into the concept of insignificance and that analogy of the boat versus the sea.
We looked at how AI triggers that triple threat, and we used the mining analogy to understand that progress always has a cost.
We have to decide what price we're willing to pay.
But ultimately, we learned that the solution is to anchor ourselves in reality and move forward with love for our potential rather than fear of our obsolescence.
It is a shift in mindset, from victim to creator.
From the powerless mage who is afraid of the magic,
To the mage who learns to wield it.
Now, before we go, I have to say this, and I mean it. Don't simply take our word. Put everything you heard here to the test. Make this knowledge truly yours. Don't just nod along. Go out and check your own fears. Audit your own reactions. See if the boat and sea analogy actually helps you when your boss ignores you in the hallway.
Question it. Apply it. See if it holds water in your own boat. If it works, keep it. If it doesn't, throw it overboard.
And we want to hear from you. We aren't just shouting into the void here.
Please share with us.
Share your ideas, your thoughts, and your experiences in the comments section. Did the mining analogy resonate with you? Which of the three fears is your personal kryptonite? Like the podcast if you enjoyed it or found it useful, and subscribe to learn more about similar topics. We want to build a community of people who are figuring this out together.
We really do read the comments, and we love seeing the conversation evolve. It helps us learn, too.
Thank you so much for giving us an hour of your time today. We know time is the one thing you can't get back, and we hope this helped you reclaim a little bit of your peace of mind.
Remember, the power is yours.